Have you ever felt like life was quietly slipping through your fingers? Like no matter how hard you try, something always feels just a little out of reach? You wake up, go through the motions, chase after things you think will make it better. But deep down, there's this quiet ache that never leaves. You can't quite name it, but you feel it. That strange emptiness that shows up in the middle of the noise, in the silence after the laughter, in the spaces between your thoughts. It's not depression. It's not failure. It's something deeper. The sense that you've lost connection with something real. And yet, what if this feeling isn't here to break you, but to find you? Maybe this is the exact moment you were meant to pause, to breathe, to listen. Because life has a strange way of speaking when everything else goes quiet. It doesn't shout. It whispers. In the rhythm of your breath. In the stillness of a sleepless night. In the pull you feel towards something you can't explain. Maybe what you're searching for isn't out there at all. Maybe it's been waiting inside you, patiently, all this time, waiting for you to stop running long enough to hear it call your name. You've spent years trying to figure it all out, how to fix yourself, how to make things finally make sense. You've told yourself that once you reach a certain point, once you have enough, once you become enough, you'll feel okay. But that finish line keeps moving, doesn't it? Every time you get close, it shifts. Because the truth is, the peace you're chasing can't be earned. It can only be remembered. You don't have to fight to become whole. You already are. You've just forgotten what that feels like. The world teaches you to chase, to control, to plan every step so you never fall. But maybe falling is how you were meant to rise. Maybe the cracks you try to hide are where the light wants to enter. What if nothing is actually missing from your life? What if everything that needed to happen has already happened exactly the way it was supposed to? You've been taught to see endings as loss. But what if they're really just quiet beginnings wearing different names? Every heartbreak, every mistake, every failure. It's all been guiding you here. To this breath, to this exact moment. You've carried so much. Expectations, regrets, dreams that didn't quite make it, people who left before you were ready. You've tried to bury the pain beneath distractions, noise, and endless doing. But pain has memory. It doesn't disappear, it waits for understanding. And when you finally stop running, it doesn't attack, it reveals. It shows you where you stopped listening to yourself, where you started believing the world instead of your own soul. That's when something inside begins to stir again. Not the part that's tired, not the part that's afraid, but the part that remembers, the part that knows you were never broken to begin with. Life has always been trying to reach you, in the people you met and lost, in the choices that hurt and healed, in the moments that made no sense until years later. It doesn't rush, it waits. It knows that when you're ready, when the noise finally quiets, you'll hear the truth beneath it all. You were never off your path. Even the detours were part of it. Even the waiting had meaning. Even the silence was speaking. So maybe this isn't an accident. Maybe this message, these words, found you because something inside you is ready to remember again. Ready to let go of the fight. Ready to stop searching for meaning and start feeling it. You don't need to chase what's already yours. You don't need to force what's already finding you. Life isn't something you control. It's something you allow. And the moment you stop trying to hold it together, you'll see it was never falling apart. You are exactly where you need to be. Everything that feels uncertain right now is just life rearranging itself to match who you're becoming. Trust that. Trust the timing. Because the moment you stop trying to make sense of it all, that's when it starts to make sense. The answers you've been looking for aren't waiting in the future. They're unfolding in this moment, right here, right now. All you have to do is listen. You've been taught to fight against life, to wrestle with it until it obeys your will. You've learned to measure success by what you acquire, what you achieve, who notices you. But the harder you grip, the more it slips. Every plan, every strategy, every careful step forward, there's a point where control ends, where your hands are empty, and all you can do is breathe. That moment terrifies you, doesn't it? It's the part where fear thrives, where doubt whispers, where the old voice inside says you'll never be enough. And yet, It's in that space, in the surrender of control, that life actually begins. The truth is simple. The world doesn't need you to fix it. It needs you to notice it, to flow with it, to stop resisting what already is. That resistance has kept you small, kept you restless, kept you running in circles, while life waits quietly, patiently for your recognition. Every second you waste trying to manipulate the outcome is a second you miss what's right in front of you. You've felt it before. The quiet beauty of a moment you almost ignored because you were looking elsewhere. That feeling you can't quite name. It's the signal, the nudge, the hand that's been trying to guide you without shouting, without demanding. It's the universe, or life, or whatever force you believe in, reminding you that the answers aren't outside of you. They are breathing inside you. They have been all along. And yet, the irony is brutal. The more you seek certainty, the more it eludes you. The more you cling to control, the less free you become. The more you chase approval, the emptier your soul feels. Do you feel it now? The gnawing that nothing you've done is enough? That ache? That sense that life is passing while you're preparing to start living? That is the wake-up call. That is the signal that you're on the verge of something far greater than you've allowed yourself to imagine. That ache isn't a weakness. It's a doorway. Every failure, every rejection, every loss has been chiseling a space inside you to receive what's coming. You've been training without knowing it. You've been growing without noticing. And now the moment is here. The pressure you feel is the proof that life is ready to hand you everything you've been resisting. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You don't need permission. You don't need a reason outside yourself to begin. The shift you've been longing for doesn't arrive with a knock. It arrives in the decision to stop hiding, to stop postponing, to stop pretending you aren't ready. You've spent too long fearing the unknown, fearing mistakes, fearing the judgment of others. But what if the unknown is where your life actually starts? What if mistakes are the only way forward? What if judgment doesn't matter because your truth is bigger than anyone else's opinion? This is your chance to break free of the patterns that have kept you tethered to fear. The patterns of overthinking, of doubting, of waiting. Every moment you hesitate, every moment you cling to what's comfortable, you lose more than time. You lose the chance to experience yourself fully. You are alive right now, not in some distant future, not when conditions align, not when someone else gives you permission. You are alive, and that is enough. That is the opening, the spark, the invitation to step into something you've only glimpsed in dreams. Let the surrender be your power. Let the uncertainty be your compass. Let the release of control be your freedom. You've been carrying the weight of expectations that were never yours to hold. Let them fall. Let the tension in your chest loosen. Feel the space inside you where clarity, peace, and strength have been waiting. It isn't distant. It isn't a reward you earn after suffering. It's here now, ready to be claimed by the one person who has always had access. You. You don't have to fix life. You don't have to conquer. You just have to step fully into it, breathe fully into it, and trust that the path has been guiding you to this very breath all along. The moment to start is now. The courage to move forward is already inside you. The life you've been searching for doesn't wait for preparation. It waits for your willingness. And the truth, as terrifying and exhilarating as it is that you are more than ready. There is a moment when you finally stop resisting life, when the constant push and pull of expectation and fear loses its grip, and something inside you shifts. It is quiet at first, almost imperceptible, like the first stirrings of wind before a storm. But if you pay attention, you feel it in your chest, a pulse of clarity that says, this is real. The walls you've built to protect yourself begin to dissolve. Every doubt, every worry, every story you told yourself about why you couldn't, why you weren't ready, begins to crumble. You realize now that the only thing standing between you and the life you've been longing for is the resistance in your own mind. Everything else, the fear, the uncertainty, the voices of the past, they are just echoes. They have no power unless you give it to them. You've been waiting for a sign, a confirmation, a reason to believe that change is possible. Here it is. This moment is it. It doesn't come with guarantees or instructions. It comes raw, unpolished, demanding you to trust what you cannot see yet. And that's the challenge, isn't it? Trusting in what has never failed you before, trusting in the invisible thread that has carried you through every trial, every heartbreak, every moment of despair. You are being called to step forward, not because the path is clear, but because your courage has grown strong enough to illuminate it. There is urgency here, not for the sake of rushing, but for the sake of awakening. Life is not a rehearsal. Every moment you hesitate, every second you cling to safety, is a moment that will never return. The world is waiting for you to act, to move, to become more than you imagined possible. Everything you've endured has led to this threshold. The struggles, the losses, the nights spent questioning yourself, they were not punishments, they were preparation. They were teaching you patience, resilience, and the strength to recognize opportunity when it finally presents itself. You are ready. You have always been ready. The fear that whispers you are not enough is the same fear that tells everyone they are powerless. But power is not something granted. It is claimed. It is realized when you look at yourself squarely, when you face the unknown with both hands open, when you embrace the uncertainty and say, I am here and I will not turn away. The stakes have never been higher. Every choice, every breath, every step carries weight, and every step carries freedom. Freedom from the patterns that have bound you. Freedom from the doubts that have paralyzed you. Freedom from the small, safe existence you have settled for. You are being invited to something larger, something beyond comfort, something that stretches your soul and demands everything you have to offer. It is terrifying, yes. It is overwhelming. But it is also exhilarating, because on the other side of fear is life as it was meant to be lived, fully, vividly, unapologetically. Do not underestimate the power you hold. Within you lies the capacity to transform every moment of hesitation into momentum, to turn every scar into wisdom, to take every experience, every heartbreak, every triumph, and let it fuel a version of yourself that is unstoppable. The world does not need another hesitant soul. It needs you at full intensity. It needs you alive in ways that you have been too afraid to imagine. This is your call to rise, to ignite, to move with intention, to step into the flow of life without resistance, without doubt, without compromise. Every second you waste questioning yourself is a second stolen from the life waiting for you. The moment to act is now, not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, not when the fear disappears. That moment will never arrive on its own. You have to create it, claim it, own it. Feel it coursing through your veins, the urgency, the possibility, the certainty that you are capable of more than you know. You have everything you need to begin, to break free, to live awake, to seize what has been waiting for you all along. Nothing outside of you can give you this. Nothing outside of you can make it real. It starts here, it starts now, with the courage to step fully into yourself and refuse to settle for anything less than the life you were born to live. Everything you've held on to, the doubts, the fears, the endless what-ifs, it's been weighing you down, keeping you tethered to a life smaller than what you are capable of. But the weight is an illusion. It only exists because you've given it power. And now, right here, right now, you can release it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, feel the tension in your chest, the tightness in your shoulders, the restless thoughts that won't stop spinning. They are all calling for attention, all screaming for release. Lean into it. Don't run. Don't distract yourself. Let it surface, and then let it go. The moment you do, you realize that the life you've been searching for has been waiting patiently for your surrender. You have been conditioned to believe that control equals safety, that certainty equals security. But the truth is far more radical. Safety is an illusion, control is a trap. True freedom exists in embracing the unknown, in stepping boldly into the space where fear and possibility collide. Every great change, every profound shift begins there. You've been standing at the edge, looking out, too afraid to leap. But the edge itself is not danger. It is opportunity. It is the threshold where the old version of yourself falls away and the version you've been yearning to become steps forward, unstoppable and alive. The universe does not reward hesitation. It responds to courage, to the decision to act when every instinct says to wait, to move when every voice says no. Consider everything you've dreamed of, everything you've whispered to yourself in moments no one was watching. The life you desire isn't a fantasy. It isn't something that happens to others while you observe. It exists in the same space you occupy every second, waiting for you to claim it. The difference between those who live awake and those who drift through life is simple: action. Bold, decisive, relentless action, not reckless action. Not action born of desperation. Action born of recognition that you are powerful, that you are ready, that the world is not against you. It is waiting for you to step fully into yourself. Every heartbeat, every breath, every choice is a chance to reinforce that truth. Your mind will resist. It always does. It will tell you it's too late, that you're not enough, that circumstances are against you. Listen, but don't obey. Those thoughts are echoes of fear, not reality. Reality is malleable. Reality bends to the intensity of your focus, the clarity of your intent, the courage of your commitment. Imagine a life where you refuse to be small, where every limitation you've ever believed dissolves under the weight of your persistence. Imagine waking up every day fully present, fully alive, fully aware that nothing outside of you has the power to define who you are, that life is not a dream. It is waiting, and it is yours if you dare to take it. Every second counts. Every hesitation carries consequence. The moments you squander doubting yourself are moments stolen from the extraordinary life that is right in front of you. You've been preparing for this without knowing it. Every struggle, every pain, every sleepless night has been chiseling the edges of your resolve, sharpening your capacity to step into the unknown without fear. And now the stakes are real. The call is urgent. The path does not wait for your comfort or your readiness. It waits for your courage. It waits for your willingness to claim what has always belonged to you. The life you were meant to live, the clarity you've been seeking, the freedom that has been calling your name. Do not shrink. Do not hesitate. The world is not asking for perfection. It is asking for presence. Presence in your choices, in your thoughts, in your actions. Presence in the way you hold yourself when fear rises, when doubt whispers, when the old stories demand attention. Your presence is power. Your decision to act is revolution. The life you've been chasing will not arrive on its own. It will not knock politely on the door. It will respond to the intensity of your engagement, the urgency of your commitment, the refusal to settle for anything less than your full awakening. Stand fully now, breathe fully now, step fully now, and watch as everything you've been waiting for finds its way to you, unstoppable and inevitable, because you have finally become unstoppable yourself. Everything you've been holding on to, the anger, the regrets, the endless what-ifs, they are chains that have been keeping you from stepping into the life that has always been waiting for you. You've carried them so long you forgot what it feels like to move freely, to breathe without restriction, to simply exist without fear. But right now, in this very moment, you have the power to drop them, to release them into the wind and watch them vanish. Every second you hesitate is another second spent carrying weight that was never yours to bear. The truth is simple. Freedom begins when you stop trying to fix what was never broken and start embracing what is already alive inside you. You've been taught that success is measured by what you achieve, by the validation you earn, by the life others say you should have. But all of that is noise. True fulfillment is found in alignment. Alignment with your deepest self, with the pulse of life that has been quietly calling you forward all along. You are standing at a crossroads where fear meets possibility. One step forward and everything changes. One step backward and you stay trapped in the patterns that have kept you restless and incomplete. The stakes are not abstract. They are real. Every hesitation, every excuse, every self-doubt is costing you the life you were meant to claim. Do not be fooled by comfort. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It lulls you into a false sense of security while the life you crave slips past like water through your fingers. The shift you've been longing for is never going to arrive wrapped in ease and certainty. It comes in the form of challenge, of tension, of the relentless push to confront the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling fear, staring it in the face, and stepping forward anyway. That is where transformation begins. That is where you discover that the life you imagined is not distant. It is within reach the moment you decide to move toward it without hesitation. Look at the obstacles you've been avoiding. Every fear, every self-imposed limitation, every shadow of doubt, they are not roadblocks. They are invitations. They are proof that you are at the threshold of growth, at the edge of something greater than you've ever allowed yourself to imagine. When you feel the pull to retreat, that is exactly when you must move forward. Every fiber of resistance is evidence that you are about to stretch beyond your current self, that you're about to enter a space where everything aligns, where everything becomes possible. You have trained for this without realizing it. Every setback, every heartbreak, every sleepless night has been preparing you to claim the life you've been resisting. The urgency is real. Time does not wait. Life does not pause for your hesitation. Every second you spend doubting, every moment you spend clinging to safety is a moment that will never return. You have been given this moment, this exact second, to act, to leap, to embrace the unknown with both hands open. The life you want is not somewhere out there. It is not waiting for a future that may never come. It is here, now, ready to be claimed by the courage that exists within you at this very instant. Nothing outside of you has the power to grant it. You hold the key. You always have. Do not settle for the small, safe version of yourself that has been content to linger in the shadows. Step fully into your potential. Step fully into your presence. Step fully into the understanding that life is not a series of chances you wait for. It is a series of choices you create. Let go of hesitation. Let go of fear. Let go of the imagined limits that have bound you. Stand fully awake. Breathe fully alive. Move with intention. Act with clarity. The world responds to those who refuse to shrink, who refuse to wait, who refuse to settle. This is your moment. This is your turning point. The life you've been longing for is no longer a distant dream. It is a reality waiting for the one person brave enough to claim it, you. Everything aligns when you decide. Everything shifts when you act. The fear will not disappear, but it will no longer control you. The uncertainty will not vanish, but it will no longer paralyze you. You are ready. You have always been ready. Every step forward now, every choice made with courage, every action taken with conviction is a declaration that you will not be held back by the past, by doubt, by anyone or anything outside of yourself. Rise fully, step boldly. Claim what has been waiting for you all along. Life is not asking. It is demanding that you remember who you are. And when you do,